Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're unpacking something I think a lot of us struggle with. It's that huge gap, the one between really putting in the effort day after day and actually seeing results.
Yeah, that delay. Sometimes it feels like forever. We're calling it the consistency paradox.
Exactly. That feeling when you've poured, I don't know, weeks, months, maybe even years into something.
And the needle just hasn't moved. Or it feels like it hasn't.
Right. So we've got this story, this narrative that really gets to the heart of it. It uses this simple story about a runner.
And a really powerful metaphor, actually.
Yeah, a revolutionary one, I'd say. So what's our mission today?
Well, we want to go deeper than just the motivational poster version of this story.
Okay.
We want to dissect the psychology, the structure of how progress really works. We're looking for the playbook for what we're calling invisible growth.
Invisible growth. I like that.
It's about understanding how effort builds up, especially when the results aren't showing up in a nice, neat line.
Makes sense. So the main source, it's this story about a young runner named Rohan.
That's right. It sets up this whole idea of delayed gratification perfectly.
Okay, let's get into it. Tell us about Rohan.
So context is really important here. Rohan, he's 16, comes from a small village, not much money.
Okay.
His dad's a carpenter, runs a tiny shop, barely making ends meet, So Rohan's dream isn't just about personal glory.
Right. It's bigger than that. He wants to be a great runner, get into the district sports academy.
Which means opportunity, maybe helping the family business, making his dad proud. It's all tied together.
And the story mentions he wasn't like the naturally gifted one.
Exactly. Not the smartest kid, it says. But he had this silent power.
Silent power, what's that?
Just this incredible grit, the ability to never, ever give up.
Okay, so dedication.
Yeah.
And that translated into, what, 2 years of training?
2 full years, running every single morning before sunrise, down by the river trails, like clockwork.
Wow, that's commitment. But here's the paradox, right?
Yep.
All that effort. And he kept losing. Every local race, he'd come in second, maybe third.
Never first.
Never first. For 2 years.
Oof. 2 years is a long time for a teenager to pour into something with, no wins to show for it. We always say consistency is key, but
what happens when you're consistently not winning? What does that do to you mentally?
it must mess with your head.
Totally. It's like
I don't know.
cognitive dissonance, right?
Yeah.
You expect effort in, results out, linear.
Yeah.
But he's putting in 100% effort, getting maybe 70% results by his measure, second or third place. It breaks your internal calculator.
And that's when the doubts creep in, especially from outside.
Oh, yeah. His friends started chiming in, maybe running isn't your thing, Rohan.
You're wasting your time. Ouch.
Exactly. And when the scoreboard keeps telling you you're losing, that external stuff, it starts to sound pretty convincing.
It validates that little voice inside saying, maybe they're right.
It's almost impossible to fight that without some kind of shift in how you see things.
Yeah.
And it all builds up to this crisis moment.
The fall. Yeah, he's out running, the trail's muddy, he slips, falls hard, hurts his ankle.
And it wasn't just the physical pain, was it?
No, it was the final straw. He's just sitting there under a tree crying, believing all that negative stuff.
I've tried so hard, I keep losing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just not good enough.
That exact thought. And that's the point where most people quit, whether it's sports or business or learning an instrument.
Right. You convince yourself the strength just isn't there, you give up.
But the story doesn't let him quit there. This is the turning point. Someone shows up.
The farmer. Kind of a classic wise old man figure.
Pretty much. Just walking by with his cows, sees Rohan crying, asks him gently what's wrong.
And Rohan tells him everything. The 2 years, the losses.
Yep. And the farmer listens, then gives him this metaphor, the one that's really the core of this whole thing.
The bamboo. Okay, tell us about the bamboo.
So the farmer points to some bamboo nearby. He says, when you plant this particular bamboo seed, Moso bamboo,
Okay.
you water it, you take care of it. For 5 years.
5 years.
5 years. And the crucial part, for all that time, nothing comes out of the ground.
Wow. 5 years of watering dirt, basically. Who does that?
Exactly. It perfectly highlights that friction we feel. We want to see progress now. How do you keep going when there's zero visible evidence?
So what happens after 5 years?
That's the magic. Or what looks like magic. In the 6th year, suddenly, boom, it explodes.
Explodes how?
It shoots up 80 feet tall. In just a few weeks.
80 feet. In weeks, after 5 years of nothing.
Right. So if you only look at the end result, that huge stalk, you think, wow, sudden success.
An overnight sensation, 5 years in the making.
Precisely. But the farmer explains the real insight. The growth wasn't sudden at all.
It just looked that way from the outside.
Exactly. For those 5 silent years, the bamboo was doing all its work underground, growing this incredibly deep, strong root system.
Okay. The foundation.
The foundation. It needed those massive roots to support that 80-foot height. If it only grew shallow roots and shot up.
Snap. First strong wind, it's gone.
Right. The visible success, the structure, depends entirely on that invisible foundational work done earlier.
That's a powerful analogy. It maps so well onto learning complex skills, doesn't it?
Perfectly. We want to see that 80-foot stalk every week when we practice piano or code or whatever.
Yeah, we want linear progress. Show me the growth.
But the farmer shows Rohan he was measuring the wrong thing. The losses, the second places, that was just the lack of above-ground growth. It said nothing about the rights.
So the roots were still growing, even while he was losing.
That's the connection the farmer makes. He tells Rohan, son, you're growing your roots right now. Don't stop.
That's the light bulb moment.
Huge aha moment. It completely reframes failure. Losing isn't proof you can't, it's just the current state of the visible part. The real work might be happening unseen.
Okay, so the bamboo analogy gives him the mental framework to deal with that nonlinear reality, to trust the process.
Yes, it counters the consistency paradox.
But just knowing that isn't quite enough, right? He has to translate that belief into action. How did things change for Rohan after that?
Right. This is section 3, moving from understanding to doing. His whole motivation shifts. He stops running to prove the doubters wrong, chasing that external win, and starts running to prove himself right. It becomes internal about the process.
So did his training change?
Mm-hmm.
Because just running the same old way for another year probably wouldn't change the results much, even with better roots.
Good point. And it did change. This is important. His dedication got smarter.
Okay. Not just persistence, but intelligent persistence.
Exactly. He wasn't just blindly putting in the miles anymore. He started actively improving the quality of the effort. The source says he watched videos of pro runners.
Learning.
Analyzing.
Yes, improving his technique, breathing, timing, posture, all those details.
So he's refining the root building process itself, making the invisible work more effective. Perfectly put, he was strengthening himself slowly, quietly. It's that mix of patience and strategy. You need the 5 years, but you need to use that time well.
Making sure the roots are strong and well-designed.
Precisely. Which brings us to the big test, the district interschool race.
The one where the winner gets into the academy? High stakes.
The ultimate test of those roots. All that preparation, 2 years of perceived failure, 1 year of refinement, it all comes down to this race.
How did it go? Did he just blast off the starting line?
No, interestingly, he wasn't necessarily the fastest initially. He was up against good runners.
Right.
But he had something different now, that internal focus, that rhythm he'd built. The story emphasizes he ran steady, stayed in his zone.
Didn't get caught up in other people's races.
Exactly. He didn't panic when someone passed him. He didn't quit when his legs started burning. Those are the moments weak roots give way.
Right. You break your rhythm, you doubt yourself.
But Rohan's foundation held. And then comes the climax, the final 200 meters. It wasn't like he suddenly found a magic burst of speed. It was more like everything he'd built, all that structure, it just clicked.
The roots could finally support the sprint.
Yes. The 80-foot explosion, finally possible. He starts passing the others, crosses the line first.
He did it. Got into the academy.
He did. But the story makes a point of saying the bigger win wasn't the academy spot.
It was internal.
Yeah. He now believed in himself. The external result was just confirmation of the internal foundation he'd already built.
The world saw the 80-foot bamboo, but Rohan knew the real victory happened over years underground.
Exactly. He understood the process. He'd redefined success for himself.
That's huge. And the story wraps up later, right? He goes back.
Yeah, years later. He's successful now, goes back to the village to find the old farmer, finds him resting under a tree.
To say thank you, I imagine.
Absolutely. Tells him how much that bamboo analogy meant. Admits he probably would have quit without it.
And what does the farmer say?
This is the final piece of wisdom, really. The farmer smiles and says something like, I'm glad my words helped, Rohan. But remember,
What?
You are the one who chose not to quit. The strength was always within you.
Wow. Okay. So the farmer didn't give him the strength.
No, he gave him the metaphor, the framework, the language to recognize the strength Rohan was already building.
The tool to unlock his own self-belief.
Exactly. The power wasn't in the advice. It was in Rohan choosing to use it.
So if we pull all this together, What are the core takeaways?
Well, first, obviously, great things take time, often nonlinear time. Patience is crucial.
Right. Don't expect overnight success.
Second, every bit of effort counts. Even the failures, the losses, they're all part of building that root structure. Nothing is truly wasted if you learn from it.
Okay. Invisible growth.
And third, maybe the most critical psychologically, people often give up right before the breakthrough.
Just before the bamboo shoots up.
Because they mistake the lack of visible results for a lack of progress altogether. They don't trust their roots.
So this deep dive really gives us a mental model, doesn't it?
Right.
The story of Rohan, the bamboo. It helps us understand that the work done in the dark, the years of watering the seed.
The years of losing races.
Right. It's not wasted time. It's essential preparation. It determines how high you can ultimately go.
Which leads us to the final thought, really.
Okay.
If we take the farmer's last words seriously, that the strength was always within Rohan, then presumably it's within you too.
Right now.
Right now. Even if the external results, the scoreboard, looks discouraging today. The question becomes, how can you look past those surface metrics?
How can you trust that your roots are growing?
Yeah. How can you recognize and trust that you're building that deep, strong foundation right now, even if the 80-foot bamboo hasn't broken ground yet? That strength isn't something you're waiting to receive.
It's something you're actively building with every effort, seen or unseen.
Exactly. You're forging it right now.